So now we are going to move to the old Europe. I give the microphone to Dr. Marie-Hélène Moncel.
Thank you. Thank you. I am going to present you a large overview of the earliest evidence of occupation in Europe, and including new discoveries, new hypotheses, and I will focus mainly on the main remains attesting the presence of human occupation, the stone tools. And I am sorry for the numerous paleoanthropologists in this room. And why this period of time? Because the current state of knowledge shows two large periods of time, with the first one, lithic assemblages, named Mode 1 of core and flakes industries, dated around 1 million years ago, and there are few sites dated older than 1 million years ago in Europe. And the second phase, with the Acheulean evidence, and the age has been pushed back in the last years, thanks to new discoveries, at around 700 KA. And I will stop at the isotopic stage 12, which is a big cold event. And after this stage, we enter in another world, the roots of the Neanderthal worlds. Before starting to speak about Europe, we have to keep in mind that we are talking about very young period of time compared to Asia and the Levant, which has yielded a very old evidence out of Africa. And for Europe, we have some sites, of course, thanks to new discovery, new dates, that attest the presence of human occupation at around 1 million years ago, with very few remains, the remains of Homo antecessor coming from the Spanish site of Atapuerca. I'm sorry for very small name of the sites. And of course, the site of Manici, which is located at the gate of Europe and dated to 1.8 million years ago. And this site, as I told you, are around 1 million years ago. There are few sites earlier than 1 million years ago. And I would like just to remind you very quickly why the site of Manici is really important, because it is, of course, at the gate of Europe, but not into Europe, dated to 1 million years ago, with a lot of remains, hominid remains. But the site has also yielded a huge quantity of lithic assemblages, made on local stones brought to the site by hominids. And the study of these assemblages show strong affinities with the African older one, so at 1.8 million years ago. If we move back to the Europe, especially Western Europe, the oldest evidence of human occupation so far is the site of Fironor, located in Italy. It is a site first which was a paleontological site in Aven, and for the last 10 years, they found artifacts with cores, with a discoid debitage, polyhedral cores, and evidence of mastering of a core debitage with backed flakes, a huge quantity of backed flakes. And the lithic assemblages were mixed with the faunal remains, and the estimation date of the site is around 1.4 million years ago. If we continue to the south, because most of the sites of this period of time are located in the south of Europe, and we have few evidence of the occupation of the north of Europe, maybe perhaps during favorable climatic phases. And the second site, close to Pironor, is the Spanish sites of Orsay, Fuentenueva 3, and Barroco León, with the same types of core technologies. It is a site with evidence of scavenging along a lake, and we have the gathering of local stones, different types of core technology, centripetal debitage, so very close to what we observe at Pironor. Another site, go back to Italy, around 1 million years ago, it's the site of Monte Poggiolo, and what is really interesting in this site is the use of a huge quantity of flint pebbles, and we can observe clearly the management, the ability to manage the convexity of cobbles, and the preparation of a platform, common behavior that we observe in the other site of this period of time. And I will finish for the south of Europe, of course, for the Grandolina and Cima dell'Elefante site, where a very old occupation have been found at the bottom of the sequence with high fragmentation of bones, and technical behavior common to this phase of occupation, an heavy-duty component, and production and the flaking of flakes of different sizes, but not big sizes, small sizes. If we move a little bit to the north, we have some evidence of occupation in the center of France with two sites, and the data coming from the environment attest that the occupation took place during temperate period of time, and the hominid left the area during the cold events. But we have also evidence of the diversity of stone gaffering. For instance, Pont de Lavaux, hominid used mainly quartz pebbles with evidence of bipolar technique and direct percussion. And for lunery, it was only nodules, flint nodules, to be used for flaking. If we move more to the north, we have, of course, the two wonderful discoveries in England of two sites, very old sites, dated to 900 and 700 KA, with some discovery of footprints in the past year, in the two past years, and it was the clear evidence of the occupation of the southern England, thanks to the crossing of a channel which didn't exist at this time, and it was possible to access to the southern England, and during a favorable climatic period. But this period was not so temperate that we could expect it, and the good preservation of the plant remains in these sites indicate that it was under fresh conditions, not very hot conditions, and hominid disappeared when it was too cold. Thanks to new discovery and dates, we push back in the past, in the age, the earliest evidence of the Acheulean. By Acheulean, we mean the ability by hominids to produce large flakes, but also to manage the bifacial volume of indaxes. And this ability is now dated in Europe to around 700 Ka. It is perhaps related to Homo heidelbergensis, but this species, the origin of this species remains obscure, and maybe the diversity of the few remains of this species could be the evidence of different hominids through a Middle Pleistocene population. And of course, the origin of the name of Acheulean is deeply connected to the Somme Valley, because it is related to very famous past prehistorians, for instance, Boucher de Perde, Gadriel Mortillet, Dol du Ménil, Abbé Breuil. But actually, thanks to the recent fieldworks in Africa, the oldest evidence of Acheulean are located in East Africa and in the Levant. And the site, for instance, of Ubediyya and GBI attest a very old, out of Africa, this ability to produce indaxes. For instance, the site of Ubediyya is dated to around 1.4 million years ago, so it's very old compared to the dates that we got in Europe. And according to the studies of the lithic assemblages, there are two big phases in Africa. And the second phase is of big interest for us working in Europe, because from 1 million years ago in Africa, we observe a strong innovation through the lithic assemblages, for instance, the use of soft hammer, standardization of bifaces, and more complex core technologies and long use. And it could be maybe a solution, or maybe an hypothesis to test, to explain why a possible connection with what we observe in Europe at from 700 Ka. And again, I have to remind you that the earliest date for an out of Africa of this ability to produce and to manage bifaces are older in the Levant, but also in Asia. in India, for instance, and I will not speak about the trouble with China remains, because according to the authors, sometimes it's related to there is a connection with India, and some authors think that maybe it could be evidence of a local evolution explaining the features of a Chinese collection with bifaces. And this arrivals of new behavior is sometimes, according to the authors, connected to changes in climatic cycles and related to the middle Pleistocene transitions. With a change of the length of the cycles, we could explain some changes in the environments and could help mobility of humans, maybe opening some routes of dispersals. So it is an hypothesis that, of course, must be tested in the future. And come back to Europe. We have now some sites attesting this ability to produce the Acheulean, dated from between 700 and 500 K.A. In the past, it was usual to admit that the Acheulean was not older than around 500 and 600 K.A., mostly connected to the south of Europe, and moved to the north, like for the earliest occupation, when it was favorable for the human occupation. But actually, the new data and the new discovery show that it is completely different. The Acheulean covered very quickly all the Western Europe, and quite at the same age, at around 700 and 600 K.A. And what is really interesting, and I have no answer to explain why, the Acheulean has not crossed the Rhine River. We have any evidence that have been found, for instance, in Germany, connected to what we observe in, for instance, France, Spain, and Italy. And is it due to the changes in climatic cycles, middle Pleistocene transition? It is due to local evolution that explains this state of knowledge. This hypothesis has to be tested. And these discoveries of lithic behaviors, of lithic assemblages, Acheulean technocomplexes, are related, as I told you, to the Homo heidelbergensis. According to the authors, it is linked or not with Homo antecessor, with high diversity of the few remains that we have. And this Homo heidelbergensis has been described first through the mandible of Maurer and located, it is surprised, in Germany, where we don't find evidence of the Acheulean. And the hypothesis, and now what we have to test, if we don't admit that there is a local evolution, where are the Acheulean from? From Asia, from the Levant, or from Africa? There are, of course, multiple scenarios that we can test to try to explain this date of 700 K.A. for the earliest Acheulean in Europe. Some authors consider that there is a local evolution. Others think that maybe there could be direct dispersal from Africa. Why not from the Gibraltar Strait? It was already sometimes discussed for the site of Orce in Spain to explain, and 1.2 million years ago, some very early occupation in the south of Spain. But we can also discuss some arrivals through the Levant with a local adaptation and changes in the behavior, and after following the coast from the Mediterranean Sea to access to the western part of Europe. In my opinion, we can't use the hypothesis of arrival from Asia because we don't find the Acheulean in Central Europe, but also in the North Caucasus to the Central Asia. So how to think that it was possible that this technocomplex could move through dispersal of hominids of ideas using latitudinal corridors if we don't find in these latitudinal corridors evidence of this ability to produce and access. So different, of course, hypotheses not to test, but in my opinion, in the state of knowledge, we have no evidence of industries of transition before the earliest evidence of Acheulean with an elaborate behavior related to the production of bifaces. We have just some local attempts, for instance, the site of La Boila, dated to 1 million years ago. We have only 2 crudely made heavy-duty tools, including 1 pick, and we have some punctual evidence, but in my opinion, these evidence are just local attempts, given not the elaborate Acheulean that we have at 700 key A. I have included here the list of sites which has been recently dated or newly excavated, and which give you an idea of the site between this, into this chronological gap between 700 and 500 kA. We have sites in the south of Europe, we have also sites in England, and the sites of England are a little bit younger, according to the new dates, than the sites in the south Europe. But all the dates have been pushed back in the past, for the capability to produce the Acheulean industry. And I would like to give you to give you more details about some of these sites. And I will start with, yes, I wanted to give you this hypothesis. If we consider that there is an introduction, we have to think that maybe a connection with the second phase of the Acheulean that we observe in the Levant and in Africa. But despite some differences that we observe in the features of the Acheulean, the earliest Acheulean in Europe, for instance, and what in my opinion is the most important, the very low ratio of bifaces in all the assemblages. We observe the same innovation in the core technologies. We have few data about the land use patterns that seem to be very important for the East African assemblages and people working in East Africa. This criteria is frequently used to describe the innovation related to the Acheulean. So, if we test the hypothesis, we have to connect and to try to compare and explain the differences, the slight differences that we observe between the assemblages. I will start with the earliest site that we have dated in France. It's a site of La Noira in the south of France. It is first a workshop, and evidence data about micro-air traces and residues indicate that it was also a site for domestic activity. And for the moment, it is the oldest site with the Acheulean evidence, and excavation took place for the last decade on the site, and we opened more than 100 square meters, and we found a huge quantity of artifacts and different processing systems with manufacture of slabs of millstone, a kind of siliceous rocks, with a production of large and small flakes, with a huge quantity of heavy-duty component, with bifaces, cleavers, only 2 cleavers on flake, and what I name bifacial cleavers with a transversal edge, but also a huge quantity of diversity of heavy-duty tools with some removals, and a huge quantity of cores and flakes related to flaking. The bifaces indicate clearly that there is a bifacial management of a volume, so we are phase 2 indexes, and not bifacial tools with additional parts of removals. If we move back to the south, the second site is the site of Notarchirico. It has been first excavated by Marcello Piperno in the 17 and 18, and we have new excavation have been starting for 4 years, and we have worked again on the bottom of the sequence, and we have found 4 new units older than 670 kA with archaeological material, faunal remains and lithic assemblages. But what is the most important for the moment, the oldest bifaces of the site are dated to the level of 670 kA, not older. So it could be quite correlated to the age of La Noira site in the center of France. We have also a clear distinction by hominids between the core technology made on very small modules of flint, and the use of the big pebbles of limestone, for instance, for making the bifaces. And hominids settled on beds of pebbles, which were beaches along a lake. And we have clear evidence also of scavenging of mega herbivores, including elephants. If we continue to move and we stay in Italy, what is really interesting for Isernia lapineta in this site, quite the same age, we have no bifaces have been found. We have two big, two big groups of artifacts, big pebbles with an heavy-duty component, and a small debitage on flint to produce thick flakes. And when we observe the core technology, we see the same innovation that we observe at Llanwara, and on some cores at Nota Chirico, some innovation indicating the independency of the stone geometry for the flaking. So we can observe a complexity in the core technology, like as we observe in East Africa for the second phase of the Acheulean. So why we don't find bifaces in this site? Maybe it is due to the activities. The big pebbles were enough to treat the high quantity of carcasses found along the river, and this site is also considered as a site for scavenging. And I will finish for this period of time the chronological cap for the site of Corne-Larago in France, and the last excavation allows accessing to the level P and Q, showing lithic assemblages including bifaces, and what is really interesting, including of course the core technologies, the diversity of form, the huge standardization and the modes of shaping, the intensity of the shaping of the bifaces, the use of different stones for making, for instance, quartz or different type of stone, and the presence of cleavers and flakes, which is typical from the south of Europe and compared to the north of Europe or the southern of France. And if we move to the north, an area very of high interest is the Somme Valley, because the Somme Valley is a possible way to access to the England, to the south of England. And this part of France has been, of course, largely worked in the past, but we knew less about the highest terraces of the Somme Valley, and especially some terraces named Carrière Carpentier and Carrière Léon, which was in the past connected to the Hautevillane, which is an enigma, because in the past the Hautevillane was described, for instance, by Abbé Breuil, and it was first described as a chronological marker for an early Acheulean, and this definition moved over time to describe an archaic bifaces or crudely made bifaces. And we were not able to find back the pieces found by Abbé Breuil d'Oldumesnil in this site, because pieces were probably destroyed by the bombs under the Second World War. And we decided to work again on these quarries, because some sections were preserved and it was possible to access to this section. And thanks to the huge work of Pierre-Antoine in this valley, we were able to locate precisely these different quarries, Carpentier and Léon, and start to work on these highest terraces, because I just want to give you back some dates from this valley. The oldest Acheulean that we had before these new fieldworks were Canilla-Garenne, dated to the stage 12, and Rue du Manège, dated to 500 Quillet, but without bifaces, only a very short series of flakes. And we first started working on Carrière Carpentier, and unfortunately we couldn't find artifacts into the famous Marne Blanche related to the Cromerian, but we found some bifaces in the upper part above the Marne Blanche, and the bifaces were dated to around 500 Quillet. But we dated again the Marne Blanche. It was the third time that we get some We got some dates for the Marne Blanche and relate this deposit to the Cromerian. We only found some artifacts that I consider as geofacts, no bifaces. And finally, the solution came from a forgotten site, which was the site of Moulin-Quignon, discovered by Boucher de Perles, which was also a quarry. And this site has been forgotten due to the discovery of a mandibule. Actually, it was a fake mandibule because it was a mandibule of Homo sapiens. But thanks to the revision of all collections stored at the Musée de l'Homme and Museum in Paris, and written by the end of Boucher de Perles, it was clear that this site could be a prehistoric site. And I just would like to remind you that these sites belong to the same alluvial formation that Carrière Carpentier and Carrière Léon. So it was of huge interest to try to find again this site and try to reply, is there a human occupation in this alluvial formation? And we made an excavation, and we were very lucky because we found remains of these alluvial formations. And we found in situ among the alluvial formation lithic assemblages composed of bifaces, cores, and flakes. And we have now got the dates 1 month ago. The dates are 670 Kie and 650 Kie. Humans came at the beginning of a cold event, not during a temperate period of time. And this date pushed back in the past the age of the earliest occupation of the Somme Valley, but also the earliest bifaces of the northwest of Europe. Just I give you an idea of the bifaces of these collections, and we have a clear management of the bifacial volume, so we are clearly in the frame of the Acheulean technocomplexes. And to finish, I would like just to give you some opinions from my opinion, from myself. We have now evidence of the complete occupation of the Western Europe, at least from 700 Kie, with hominid population able to manage and the bifacial volume produce bifaces. It is far from the definition of the Abvilian, even if the Abvilian maybe exists because we have found some occupation in these high terraces, but we are far from the definition of crudely made bifaces and the archaic bifation frequently used to define the Abvilian. So common occupation both on south and northwest of Europe. And now the question to be tested is how to explain this very quick occupation of Western Europe. Why not on the east side of the Rhine Valley? And is it due to arrivals of new population? Is it due to arrivals just ideas among population living before the arrival of this new tradition? So this hypothesis must be tested in comparison, compare with assemblages from other countries, from the Levant, for instance. And we have now, of course, to explain why we have this diversity among the assemblages. It is due to the activities, to the role of the raw materials, to maybe different cultural areas. Why not to multiple phases of dispersals of hominids in Europe, and could explain an adaptation to new environments, especially in the northwest part of Europe. And I have just to remind you the specificities of the European earliest Acheulean technocomplex, the low ratio of bifaces, because you have very few data about the land use patterns. We have to have more data to explain if we could observe some changes. And we have also some technical innovation on course. And I will stop, as I told you at the beginning, with stage 12. It is a strong glacial event. And now we find the roots of the Neanderthal world with technical innovation. And it is earlier that we thought in the past, because we thought that the roots of the Neanderthal world was at dated at around stage 9, but now we have clear evidence of a Levallois technology as soon as the stage 12 and 11. I thank you.
Thank you for this very broad overview of early European prehistory. I'm sure there are some questions.